Alright, YouTube, I've seen that there is not a lot of support on this because I went looking online first to see what I was getting into. But we are replacing a starter on a 2004 Lincoln Navigator. Okay, obviously I already got the old one out. This here is our refurbished starter motor. I took it to a local generator shop and they rebuilt it for me. We tested it out on the bench, saw that the pinion gear was operating properly. Everything was looking good. I tested it here on my front porch as well, and it was good. The tools I got here is literally just a 3/8 ratchet, 13mm, an extension. You don't need both extensions, but I just have them just in case, and a 10mm for the ignition wire that goes onto the back of that solenoid there, and everything else is a 13. So you can see off rip that it's got 3 mounting bolts. Okay, now sitting in the car, in the vehicle, it's gonna be like this. On the transmission, this is what you'll see from up underneath it, right? And you'll be like, all right, cool, them two, easy day, real easy. But that third one sits real high up in a weird spot, so let's go underneath. I forgot to mention, but make sure that you have everything, your battery disconnected before you go to work on that starter, because you could cross that over and it will jump and scare you. You're supposed to take off the ground cable. I took off the positive because I had to replace this terminal as well while I was in here. All right, so this view is from behind the front passenger wheel. Okay, and this is where, up here is where the starter goes. Okay, and I still got my stuff here just as placeholders, but take this out. Boom. That's for our ground. And then this is where I was talking about. When you see it on the starter itself, you can get to these 2 bolts. Hold on, let me move this side. Okay, so you can get to them 2. Focus. There we go. You can get to them 2 relatively easy. Okay, right? That's those 2. Those are the bottom 2. Now, your third bolt. Let's see where we're at. Oh, my camera's upside down, not where. Okay, hold on. For sure, that's annoying. Okay. Just go ahead and edit all this junk out. Alright, bro. What am I looking at there? Okay. Alright, so here's my light. Where's that? Here we go. Alright, so you see how, I don't know if you can really tell. Hold on, let me see. Get this flashlight to stick something. Stick somewhere. Okay, there you go. Alright, so now remember, I had my one wire as a placeholder, right? And then the other one is right here. Of course, stuff blocking me. Okay, here we go. Actually, that's a real good view. All right, so that's the bottom one that I just disconnected. Okay, with I think that's the ignition wire, if I'm not mistaken. And then this is the other one, right? The 2 that you can see from there. But up here, that darn wire, is the third one. And that is a son of a gun. You'll mess with it and your hand will cramp up, but it is there. So now let me put the starter in its place and see what's going on. Alright, so here I have hooked up my 12 volt constant battery cable, and that's my ignition wire. That's what sends the signal down after you turn the key to kick that solenoid on and into gear. I got this starter literally just sitting on the cross member. I'm about to tighten this up and place the starter in its location. Okay, so I've got literally one bolt in. You can see it right there. One bolt in, and I'm about to demonstrate how I got these bolts. This is where the deep socket 13 and extension comes in. Put my arm from behind the subframe, and I've got access to it. Now this is obviously just hitting the cable. I'm not trying to tighten up, I'm just trying to show you. Okay, so that's that one. The other one, same concept. You can touch it right there, and you can't hardly see. This is a little bit of better aim at. It's there. You see my socket? That's where the bolt goes. That's number 2, and that's from, you know, from when I tell you that your top bolt is where you earn your money. It's literally this. My hand is back there. I got, let's see what pose this up there. Okay, so I got this back hand right here holding onto the extension and deep drive socket that I got, and this other hand, you can't see it on camera. Okay, but see how I got my ratchet up in there? Can you see it? It's there. There it is. There's my ratchet, right? Boom. So I got one hand on the doohickey back there. There we go. And the other hand on the ratchet. Make sure that, you know, it stays in place. It's definitely a pain in the butt. I tried to tighten it down as far as I could with my hand. My hands are definitely cramped, but this is how we get the third one. I've already tightened up the bottom 2. Let's see, we're almost there. All right, let's test it now. This is battery voltage with the jumper cables. 13.48 be enough, right? Let's turn that off because we're gonna have to test down here. All right, so now underneath the car, that's the starter, obviously. I'm gonna put my leads on that 12 volt constant that comes from the battery, and on the ground that's on the starter there. Okay. But then when I get on the leads, we've got, all right, 13.7 okay, voltage. So what I'm doing now is troubleshooting to see, to kind of make sure that it is the starter, just checking the ground in the system itself. Okay, I've got my voltmeter here. It's set to direct current. It's an automatic range one, so I don't have to fiddle with nothing. What I'm going to do first is check the voltage at the battery. So I'm just going to the top of the post, so the negative and positive terminal, and you can't really see it, but it says 12.5. That's a little bit low to even crank the car, but I just have to use that as my reference to check out the ground itself. So next we're going to keep our positive lead on the top of the terminal, and on the negative lead I'm going straight to the ground. This is the wire that comes off of the terminal, the negative side, and it goes straight to ground on the vehicle body itself. Right, so I got that, and that is 12.4 volts DC. Can't see it too well because my hand in the way, but all right, so that means that you have good ground at the body basically. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this positive lead on the positive terminal, and I'm going to take my negative and basically I'm just going to hit a spot on the motor. I'm going to aim for that bolt on the valve cover, this guy on here, and then our other guy is going to go down on that valve cover. It's a little tough, but look at that. 12.4 volts direct current. So that means that our ground side of our electrical issue is a non-issue, basically saying that this vehicle is properly grounded and everything else is good. So here we go, new starter. Let's hope we bang.